Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the official Dead Man's Hand talk show. This is the panel here so far right now. This is Jack Thomas, the voice of UWE, signing in here live with JayJoker Desings.
Hey, everybody. As you see, I am the panel.
There we go.
I do have to discuss the elephant in the room that our fellow commentator, Arnold McDonald, unfortunately, he had an optometrist appointment. We can thank Joseph Anthony and Shadow Grimm for that. And we wish that all is well with our brothers up in NUW.
All right. Well, with that being said, we obviously wish Arnold a speedy recovery with that eye incident that took place a little bit before Road to Gold. But as far as right now, we're here to talk about Dead Man's Hand, which is the UWE Live Spectacular that will take place this Thursday night, which is May 10th, and it will be streamed at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, 8 p.m. Eastern Time. And we
can you repeat that once again, Jack? Let's just get that out there again.
Oh my God, you're already starting today, man. Like I said, Dead Man's Hand will be streamed live this Thursday night at May 10th, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 5 p.m. Pacific Time. And also, if you are in London or in England or anywhere in that area, it's going to probably be streamed around midnight. And if you are in somewhere in Europe, then just catch it tomorrow morning. With that being said, we got a hell of a card for you here tonight, and we got some big matches here to showcase. And what we're going to do is that we're going to keep this going probably until 7 o'clock. So this is going to probably go for about an hour long. And then afterwards, there's actually a special event that's going to be streamed later on tonight by one of our fellow. But, before I even get on to that, I just want to say really quick, as far as using still here. Okay, I just want to make sure. I thought there was an issue with the connection. Anyway, I just want to say that UW is going to be partnering up with some other federations really to help them get, some exposure out to the community. And one of those federations is none other than NWF. And pretty much they're going to be streamed on their channel, which is going to be after this talk show panel host. Their event's going to be streamed. So make sure to check out their video and check out their channel. Go ahead, like, subscribe. So pretty much their event's going to take place after ours. But right now we're going to talk about Dead Man's Hand. This is the one event, a lot of our live spectaculars have some sort of special gimmick or stipulation. As you know, Ultimate Redemption is our show of shows. That is our Super Bowl. All Out Survival is kind of like our if you want to say it's like our Royal Rumble. It kind of determines who's going to go into Ultimate Redemption to fight the champion. We have Abomination, which is our no disqualification pay-per-view. Hell's Vacancy, which is sort of more gothic and demented and
Jack. Time is of the essence here, my friend.
All right. Well, so pretty much Dead Man's Hand is an event that is casino themed, and pretty much every superstar that competes in a match at Dead Man's Hand will have something up for grabs. So, everybody has to put a certain something up on the line. Justin, what do you think about this pay-per-view and how it could change the landscape of the UWE?
Well, this pay-per-view itself brings many implications. Titles are up for grabs. That's a very obvious bet. But there's things that are, in terms of an identity of a person, like, a mask. We're going to be seeing a mask being up for grabs this Thursday. We're seeing a body being put up for grabs between Uslo and Everett Creed's Last Man Standing match, where the winner gets Jason Atlas or the disease of Jason Atlas. There's so many things we've seen in the past where it's just been titles. If we go back to the second Dead Man's Hand, or was it the first? The one back in 2016 was
the second.
We called it the Full House because our main event was champion at the time, Mr. CJE, Cameron Jackson, defending his title against. What's funny is you got the members of the Balance of Chaos all in that match with Revan, Ustalo, Atlas, and also you had Everett Creed in there as well. So it brings up many big implications. We could see new champions. We could see maskless people. We could see the beginnings of a foundation of an empire or an order, if you will. There's just heavy implications are set. And this pay-per-view determines how the landscape of the UWE is for the year.
Absolutely. And with that being said, this is the first match we will cover of the evening, which is none other than the Prodigal Knight, Revan, going one-on-one with the Stark Supremacy's instrument of torture, Insanity. This match really started up when there was it was a matchup between Revan and Johnny Reed. It was a 2 out of 3 falls match on the returning episode of UWE Lockdown. And what took place was that Revan was setting up for the victory, and Insanity's theme music played, and we weren't sure what was the cause of it. But then it turned out that Revan was defeated by Johnny Reed, and then the following week on UWE Lockdown, Everett Creed and Ustalo would have a tag team match where they chose their partners. Ustalo chose Revan, and Creed chose none other than Timothy Han himself, better known as Insanity. Insanity would get himself disqualified and then would attack Revan with a foreign object, and Creed would make this match official for Dead Man's Hand before Insanity laid him out with the spinal treatment. So the stipulation that is up for grabs is that if Revan is defeated, he will be admitted to Stark Labs, which is the insane asylum that is administered by Angelique Stark, the leader of the Stark Supremacy. And if Insanity is defeated by Revan, he must remove his mask. So real quick, as the comments keep coming in and the predictions come in for this match, Justin, I want to ask you, what are your thoughts and predictions on this match?
I really feel bad for Revan. Let's just put this out there. I have a tremendous amount of respect for the talent that Revan possesses, and his morality, if you will. I just feel really bad because he's on a. I don't think he's on a plane that he would even remotely win in this case, because last time, if my thoughts are correctly, last time that we've seen Insanity in singles competition was back in Ultimate Redemption, which was him facing the fearful phenom Daisy. God rest his soul wherever he is, probably among the pink fields of gold. With this, it's tough because correct me if I'm wrong, but Insanity has put his mask up at least once, correct?
Insanity, I'm not sure if he's put his mask on the line before.
Because the thing is, if there's one thing that we define Insanity as, besides his name, is his identity, which is that mask. Before we seen him with the yellow-black mask that we are so familiar with until shortly before Crossover Crisis, seemed like Everett Creed would take in Timothy Han, or Insanity, as many know him as, and essentially shed the old Insanity and create a new kind of Frankenstein of sorts. Probably the first experiment by the Stark Supremacy was Insanity. And I think now that Insanity's got... I think he's got a family, Jack. I don't care if you disagree with me or not, but you will go to great lengths for your family. And this is one of the things he will do, is he will go beat Revan and admit him to Stark Labs. And, we've seen what Stark Labs has done to people. Insanity was the first case. The disease of Jason Atlas. I also heard a rumor that even Lucius Smith, or Lips, who we'll be seeing later on in this panel, was admitted once before to Stark Labs. I mean, if it's just me, but it's a humble abode of freaks that end up becoming sinister beings within the underground.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, Stark Labs has really been implemented throughout the UWE without us even knowing about it for the longest time, because, Everett Creed would have this power over a lot of people in the UWE. He was appointed as the CEO, and even when he was, when he gave up those powers as the CEO, he still had stroke in the UWE, and we didn't know how. And when superstars would disappear for many months and then come back strange or unusual, we never knew why. And then all of a sudden we find out, as Angelique Stark was announced as the official chief of medical staff in the UWE, that's how they were able to get their power. So that's how Insanity was treated, and he was treated at Stark Labs. Jason Atlas was, administered into Stark Labs. So that's how the disease of Jason Atlas was even created in my eyes. That boils back down to many issues with Atlas, but now it looks like Everett Creed has a mission to bring Revan into Stark Labs as well. And if Insanity is victorious, then Revan doesn't have much of a choice. He must be administered to this asylum that really could break down the Prodigal Knight, and that could really make things uneasy for this newly developed faction created by Ustalo in the Balance of Chaos. However, I am going to predict that Revan will win this match, and here's why. With Insanity, the whole purpose of his return and the fuel behind the machine is the Stark supremacy. And Everett Creed and Angelique Stark are not going to be ringside in this match. Insanity's all on his own. And with that, it's going to create instability. And that instability is going to open a door of opportunity for Revan. And also, we've seen Insanity on his own for a couple years now. And, he hasn't really done as much damage as he first did before he was admitted into, I don't know when exactly he was admitted into Stark Labs, but the fact is that it looks like it was, right before he was administered in Stark Labs, which was around the time Creed started up, with Jason Walker. Insanity wasn't really finding an answer to, he was defeated by Adnan. He was defeated by Daisy. He was not, he wasn't as promising as his figure was made out to be. And with Revan, this is really going to be his season. Revan has kind of sat on the back, he's kind of sat on the bleachers and has watched, the superstars like Cameron Jackson and Rick Rios and Everett Creed and even Dirty DeChico and all these guys that have had their time. And Revan was just biting and waiting for that opportunity. And it just wasn't Revan's time yet. And I think 2018 is going to be the season of the Prodigal Knight. And I think even though this is going to be a very difficult match for Revan, that Malcor 5 can come out of nowhere. He's defeated Everett Creed at Broken Glory. And that's the thing. I do believe that Revan is going to walk out the victor. The question behind that is, what happens if Insanity is unmasked?
I'm going to tell you, it's going to be a heavy implication on the underground, because you take away a man's identity, who knows what happens. But I don't want to sugarcoat it, Jack, but I think you're wrong. But
well, we got different opinions right now. Let's look at the comments real quick, because we got a couple comments here. We're gonna see Feck/Gabriel Mick X says we could see a heel turn. Tiger Talk, Tony Tiger, or Tiger Talks Wrestling predicts, I've got Revan winning this. He's been on a little of a hot streak lately, even though Insanity cost him the third fall against Reed. Majin Young Wolverine puts, let's go Revan.
It's Majin.
Majin, thank you. I do apologize if I mispronounce certain names.
Jack does not understand Dragon Ball, so please forgive him.
Yeah, I don't watch Dragon Ball.
The only thing,
he's
he's a boring person. He watches golf.
All right. So, hey. All right. So, Majin Young Wolverine also puts for a future prediction. I'll get to that a little later on. But don't think I looked over that. He also puts no problem, dude. Once again, my apologies.
And the correct opinion is by Mr. Awesome 5150 saying insanity is all around us. He's got this one. He's been locked away now. The monster has been let out at Revan's expense. Dead man's hand spells destruction for him. I agree.
And you also got to look out for Insanity's finishing maneuver, that Tranquilizer. It's put away a lot of superstars as well, including, I think, what would be Insanity's biggest victory as of right now would probably be at Ultimate Redemption in 2014 against Lips. That was a big victory for Insanity. But ever since, he hasn't really opened up the door much. And I think without Evercreed and Angelique Stark there in his corner, it's going to lack direction. And I think that's where Revan's going to seize the opportunity.
This is where I'm going to tell you the finest thing. All it takes is a push. When to push into the right direction, people do things. And I think that the Stark Supremacy has given Insanity that push.
That it has. All right, we're going to talk about the next match, you guys. And this one, I think the first one had the most personally at stake. This one might have the most at stake professionally. This is for the Underground Championship. Between Mr. UWE, the general manager of UWE Lockdown, TJ Saqqara, versus Adnan. Justin, we mentioned how, oh God, my glasses are crooked. I didn't even notice that before. Anyway, we talked about how, because Insanity and Revan was the first of two Balance of Chaos versus Stark Supremacy matches. This match is actually a Stark Supremacy versus Murder Club match. So, what do you think as far as this match right here goes?
So, I like the transition from the most personal to the most professionally at stake. We saw last time on Lockdown, TJ Saqqara essentially evicting Everett Creed from his former office, the office that he essentially did day-to-day business for the UWE in before, Endgame. And, Adnan is known as the hired gun. And if you noticed during that, as of late, Creed has had a right-hand man in the form of Adnan, almost like a bodyguard in sense. Adnan was right by his side when TJ evicted Everett out of his office. And when, even more as that time went on, Creed making this match, which is funny because TJ had the opportunity to, even since he's the general manager, he could have overruled this match, but he chose to take it on, which I give TJ that credit. He decided to take this match on. However, TJ has a lot of accomplishments, and we can't deny that. And he's currently the Underground champion, the general manager, as you said. But I feel like Adnan is going to try to pull this out of the bag, because the main reason is this job means a lot to Adnan. It puts dinner on the table for many of Adnan's family. It gives him great benefits, money, and all for, it's for a good cause, he feels. And so I got Adnan winning it. It's not to discredit TJ, but I feel like when it's that professional, when it's that much professional at stake, I feel like that is weighing towards the advantage of Adnan. He's got more to fight for.
Yeah, that's a good point. TJ, this match, like you said, last week on Lockdown, Saqqara would kind of get on the bad side of Everett Creed, and Creed would make this match. Pretty much the way that he would decide this match is that he knew TJ's pride would not let him decline the offer, especially if Adnan's employment to the Supremacy was on the line. So, you know what? I think I got to agree with you on this one. I think Adnan's got it, because TJ, ever since he became the general manager of UWE Lockdown, he seems to be very free will. He seems to be kind of going with the flow, and Adnan, I think, is going to be more focused. And the thing is that a focused Adnan is very dangerous Adnan. We've seen what this man could do. Just look in the 2015 season. Look at the Freaks Night Ball. Look at Ultimate Redemption when he defeated Diablo Insanity, and Lips in a fatal four-way to retain the regional championship. You know, Everett Creed brought this man in at Hell's Vacancy, the very first Hell's Vacancy, and he dominated at the time UW World Heavyweight Champion Nick Somas. The only reason Somas won the match is because Rick Rios had to get involved. Adnan is a very dominant player, and this match has more on the line for Adnan than any other match. So I really feel that he's going to deliver a choke slam or a heart punch. One way or another, we're going to see a new underground champion. And the thing is, even though everybody puts something up for grabs, if TJ loses the underground championship, he's still the general manager of UW Lockdown. Adnan loses this, he's out of a job. He's out of the Stark supremacy. So with that being said, I do think Adnan's got this one in the bag. We have two comments here. We got from Majin Young Wolverine. I have Saqqara winning, and I have Tiger Talks Wrestling saying TJ is retaining. So we got some opposing predictions from our fans. Of course,
yep.
I think
I am going to point at those people and say, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Well, you know what? I know TJ is the sentimental favorite in this match.
But the thing is, I feel like even if TJ loses, he still has a rematch. And as general manager, you know, he's going to get – I feel like this – if once he loses this Underground Championship, once he loses it to Adnan, I feel like it's a downward spiral of you know, just being corrupted with power. He's got to have all the power. Who knows? Maybe he will just strip Adnan of the title and then put it back on him. Who knows?
That's a good point. You know, there's a lot of good points that you've made there. You know, TJ has been a little bit abusive with his powers, as you saw last Lockdown with the Yankee versus Lips match. But
I hate to interrupt you, but I'm currently having an argument with Tiger Talks Wrestling. Tony, you're wrong. It's not the first time. It's not the last time, but you're wrong.
Do I even want to know?
No, he just said I was wrong. So no, he's wrong.
Mr. Awesome puts TJ's career has been bright lately. He has a ton in his possession. I don't see him losing any of it yet.
Man, look, another wrong person.
All right. Well, with that being said, we're going to move on to the next match here, and this match is definitely a very interesting one. We're going to look at this right now in just a few moments. But you know, Dead Man's Hand, like I said, it's the show where everything is up for grabs, and this one certainly has a lot on the line. And the King of the Mountain, Noven McDonald, versus the Disease of Jason Atlas. You guys, this match has a lot at stake. It is all about a legacy. And speaking of, hold on, I'm gonna before we talk about this match, we were just reviewing the matchup earlier on between the Body of B. Waterman, Mr. UWE, TJ Saqqara, and Adnan. And now joining us is none other than the general manager of UWE Lockdown.
Hey, boss, how's it going?
Himself. TJ, I want to thank you for joining us here at this on this talk show here on the talk show panel. And since you are the general manager of Lockdown,
no problem. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm actually eating dinner, but you know, when I get the call, you know, I got to show up, represent. You know, how's everything?
Everything's doing pretty good.
Yeah, Jack said you were gonna lose the title to Adnan, so.
Whoa! All right, but and you did too.
Is that how you feel, Jack? Is that how you feel?
Well, my honest prediction is that right now you got a lot going on. You are the underground champion, but you're also the general manager.
You know who pays you? You know who pays you?
I know who pays me.
Who pays me?
Whistler.
Yeah,
JayJokers.
Yeah. TJ pays me. I know. I see the name on the checks.
You better come correct, Mr. Jack Thomas.
Well, just so you know, JayJoker also betted against you as well. So
no. I want to hear your full opinion because obviously some things were said not to my face. Jack, please let me know. Why do you think Adnan is going to beat me for the underground title?
All right, as I said, you know, before you appeared.
Yeah, take it away, Jack.
As I said before, you appeared on the talk show panel. Pretty much, Adnan right now, look back at his resume back in 2015, and the thing is that Adnan has got a lot on the line, and the thing is, Adnan has a lot to look out for. His job is on the line. If he loses, he's out of the Stark Supremacy, and an Adnan up against the corner is a very dangerous Adnan. And look at his debut. Everett Creed brought him into the UWE, and he dominated at the time World Heavyweight Champion Nick Somas. He has gone on to the Freaks 9 Ball Best in the Yard and dominated on that event as well. He went on to the next Ultimate Redemption in 2015 and defeated Diablo, Insanity, and Lips in a fatal four-way to retain his regional championship. He is a very dominant competitor, and he has honestly a lot more on the line than you do, because even though your underground championship is on the line, even if you lose it, you are earned a rematch clause, and you're still the general manager. So you have a lot less at stake than he does, and I think that's going to make him a lot more determined, in my personal opinion. Obviously now as a fan and as a human being, as a sympathetical human being, I am rooting for you, but I have to do this unbiased, and I have to look over this as an analyst. So that's,
But here's the thing. I have a lot to lose too, I have a lot to lose, my friend. And you think because if I lose the title, I'm just going to be like, I want a rematch and I'm going to get my title back because I'm GM? You think I'm going to abuse my power like that? How dare you?
Disrespectful. I said,
how dare you?
Wait, disrespectful. Justin, you were the one that said he was going to do that in the first place.
How dare you?
No, I didn't.
Here's my little dilemma here. Exactly. Here's my dilemma. I could easily cancel the match right now and be like, no, I don't want to face Adnan. I'm not losing my championship. But I'm not. I'm not selfish. I know I could beat Adnan. And the only reason why Everett Creed wants to put Adnan's his title as Stark Supremacy on the line is because he knows that Adnan ain't shit. What do you think about that?
I said,
yeah.
TJ, that Mr. Saqqara is a prideful human being.
I think me and Adnan are going to tear the house down, but Mr. UWE will reign supreme forever. Forever. When I say forever, as underground champion. Forever. I will be the forever underground champion.
All right. Well, it was a little choppy there, but I think we got the message.
I'm Mr. UWE.
And there you have it.
Interrupting him. Distasteful.
I'm not interrupting. He's chopping in a little in and out.
No, distasteful. Distasteful. Purely distasteful. I said it once before. I'll say it again, even right as he's here. Mr. TJ Saqqara is a prideful human being who will retain his championship because Adnan, if you've noticed, he's not undefeated anymore. You remember? You know who he lost to? He lost to Clunk. Clunk!
Oh, God. All right. Anyway, that was a huge upset, but we're going to go back to this match now, which we were going to talk about and discuss before TJ Saqqara interrupted us. We have the King of the Mountain.
Interrupted. He's the GM. He can cut. Who do you think we had to get approval from? We had to get approval from him. He knew it.
Yeah. Anyway, this is the next match we're going to discuss here, and it all started on a match on UW Lockdown where Jason Atlas would attack Noven before the match even started, and then during the match he would get himself disqualified and would use close-handed fist followed by the cauterizer. And then he would challenge Noven McDonald so that he can go ahead and earn the opportunity to face his father, Noven. Navon next week would accept the challenge, with the exception of if that he is victorious, NUW superstars would be signed to UWE and they would be eligible to compete for UWE championships. So with this match, if Noven McDonald is victorious, NUW comes to the UWE. If the disease of Jason Atlas is victorious, he will earn the opportunity to face the returning Last Emotion. We will witness the return of Noven. So, Justin, what are your thoughts with this match right here?
So we got somebody who wants to revolutionize, with Noven McDonald wanting to include his NUW brethren, as he is the NUW owner, into the mix of the underground. Or you got the person who wants to Carterize, who said he would attempt to decapitate Noven McDonald to get to his father, Noven. So this is a very tough thing. This is one of those matches that changes the landscape no matter what of the underground. It's either you're going to have the inclusion of NUW superstars, like, Joseph Anthony, Shadow Grim, JJ the Pitbull Cordero. You can have a number of people. You can have Big Zach. You can have David Lowell. You can have Ecstasy. Who knows? You could see anybody and everybody from NUW if Noven wins. I don't think that's going to happen, unfortunately. Because if you noticed, this disease of Jason Atlas has been on the assault on Noven. Look what happened when they had that match on Lockdown. Almost instantaneous. As soon as he saw Noven in his sights, he rammed him into the entranceway. And then look at what happened last week when Noven accepted that challenge that the disease laid out for this match. Noven would get the upper hand, but I think the disease has already got the upper hand in terms of the mind. So I feel like it's either we're going to be bathed in Newburgh or we're going to be bathed in brimstone because of the King of the Netherworld returns. And I feel like you better get your sunscreen, Jack, because it's going to get hot. I feel like the disease is going to go beat Noven so we can get a step closer to essentially eviscerating and, essentially getting rid of Noven once and for all of BYW.
You know what? I got to disagree with this one, because the only reason I feel Jason Atlas had the momentum was that Noven overlooked Jason Atlas, or the disease of Jason Atlas, when we returned for the 2018 season. Now at Dead Man's Hand, McDonald expects everything. There will be no surprises. Noven McDonald will expect the unexpected, and he is prepared for the disease of Jason Atlas. And the thing is that there are, like Noven said, there's many pretenders, but there can only be one true Noven. And honestly, Noven has that issue with an alter ego, kind of like the disease of Jason Atlas. The thing is, this disease is a twisted, conflicted alter ego of the original one-man mosh pit, who is long gone now. And the thing is that Jason Atlas, he also suffers from the inexperience, especially as the disease. Noven McDonald is a veteran, and he is on a hot streak as well. Even though he was defeated at events like Road to Gold and Halloween Hell 2, Noven is a veteran. And this is what I like to call a son's legacy. And the thing is that he is not going to let the legacy of his career be his father. He's going to let it be his company. He's going to let it be NUW. And this is the biggest opportunity for the King of the Mountain to expand Newburgh Underground Wrestling. And it will be a huge opportunity for all of us. And I think, like the Insanity Revan match, that instability is going to open a door of opportunity. And we are going to see Noven McDonald, with the usage of the Royal Tuner, defeat Jason Atlas. And we are going to see NUW amongst the UWE.
All right, audience, I want you to point your fingers at the screen, direct it towards Jack, and look at somebody you should never be. Wrong. He is wrong. And actually, I'm not the only one who agrees that Atlas is going to beat Noven McDonald. Tiger Talks Wrestling. Going with Atlas, winning and seeing the return in UWE of the last emotion, Noven, and that he's actually on the winning side for once by agreeing with me. 51, Mr. Awesome, 5150. Going with Atlas because Noven's been creeping out of Noven lately. Sorry, NUW. We gotta take that into consideration too. Look at what Newberg's going through right now too with Noven. They're having issues with him. Noven's slowly creeping out ever since he lost to Cameron Jackson at Halloween Hell 2. Who knows? I think this may be the pushing point. And then here's your one fan, Jack. The Hand of God Gunshot Backyard Wrestle. I'm going to pick Jathan Atlas to win.
Oh, jeez. We also have it's Dalton saying I want Noven. So I think a combination of people predicting
Dalton,
that...
you don't want to. You don't want to. Mike Fresh 1v1 might work. Actually, I would love to see that.
Well, the thing is,
I don't want you to die.
I think he wants Noven as in the UWE, and I think the thing is
no, we're missing the fact he said book me before that too.
Well, yeah, I wasn't trying to mention that. So
Jack, you can't ignore what the fans say. That's why I am the fans' favorite.
So, but the thing is, a lot of people want Jason Atlas to win because even though he is not well respected, he is very much liked, or it could be the other way around. But the thing is, Noven is he is a very infamous superstar. So I think a lot of people want to see the return of Noven, especially since the last time we've seen Noven, it was at Endgame. And the thing is, ever since Noven has been in the UWE, the only person he has targeted is the Freak Show Lips. So if Noven returns, it's almost a question of, will it be in place? Is it really authentic? Because it seemed like the only person Noven had some sort of conflict with was the Freak Show Lips. But if Atlas defeats Noven at Dead Man's Hand, we could see the return of the last emotion. We could see Noven versus the Disease. However, I do not think that will be the case.
No, there is no howevers, Jack. It is plain and day. The Disease of Jason Atlas beats Noven McDonald, kills the UWE by resurrecting Noven, and that's it. We're out of jobs.
The thing that scares me is that Everett Creed once said that if his plans for Endgame were foiled, it almost would not matter because what I was going to do with UWE is nothing compared to what Noven would do. And I really am a little bit worried if Atlas wins because I think Atlas is committing UWE suicide by trying to make this match. Noven would make the UWE end and he would do it slowly. Creed was just trying to pull the trigger and make it fast because Creed wanted to move on, and live off of his life. Noven wants to make this place a living hell. And if Jason Atlas is victorious, which I hope to God he's not, and I don't think he will be, I think Noven's going to pull this through because he knows what's at stake. It's not only NUW, but it's to prevent the last emotion. With that being said...
Too bad you're wrong. Ragnarok is imminent. Just accept your fate.
All right. Well, also, we got some other matches. We got some other matches and later on here tonight, for Dead Man's Hand. You guys have posted some predictions, and you guys have done an awesome job with that so far. I'm just refreshing some of the match cards here because the next match is definitely got a lot up for grabs. And to be honest, speaking of Everett Creed, it's his match, and it is Everett Creed versus Ustalo in a last man standing match. The way that this match transpired was at Endgame, Ustalo would defeat Everett Creed. And I just want to make sure that the match card is up. Okay, so the match card's up. Yes, it is.
I can confirm with my 2 eyes. I can see it.
Also, before I go on to this match, Majin Young Wolverine just said, Jason Atlas wins. I want some more Noven. So like I said, Noven is very infamous. But
so I am going to say this. Jack,
Yeah.
Are you looking at me in the eyes right now?
Yes.
What excuse are you going to make for Ustalo to win?
Well, let's take a look back at the backstory before I give you my predictions. The thing is, Ustalo defeated Ever Creed at Endgame, and Creed would return and would say that because Ustalo prevented Ever Creed's chances of having a family and moving on with his life, he now wants to make Ustalo's life a living hell. And this is personal. And the thing is that now it's not Ever Creed trying to end the UWE, it's Ever Creed trying to end Ustalo. And he's going to do that by trying to take away his family. He's trying to do it with the Revan Insanity Mask. My mistake. The Revan Insanity match. And if Revan loses, he will be admitted to Stark Labs. I think that's getting rid of Revan. This is his opportunity to get rid of Jason Atlas, because if Creed is victorious, Jason Atlas is no longer a member of the Balance of Chaos, and he's a member of the Stark Supremacy. And that's something that's very dangerous. Ustalo honestly has a lot at stake, and it's a last man standing match. Ever Creed has been in, I believe, 2 last man standing matches, and the last one he was in, he defeated TJ Saqqara. Ustalo I don't think he's ever been in one. He's definitely never been in one in the UWE. So the deck is stacked stipulation wise against Ustalo, but we have seen Ustalo defeat Ever Creed before. So this match has a lot on the line, and the winner recruits Jason Atlas to their respective faction. Justin, what are your predictions with this match?
I feel like Jason Atlas is going to win by Creed getting the upper hand on Ustalo and being the last man standing. This is the reason I'm going to say this. I think the loss of Revan, like I'm predicting, is going to overtake Ustalo's, focus on this match. Like you said, which is a great thing to point out, there's the possibility of just within one night, the Balance of Chaos being disbanded, all because of the Stark Supremacy, all because of, Revan maybe being admitted to Stark Labs, and even Atlas going to the Stark Supremacy. As much as you discredit them, they do think 2 steps ahead before everybody else. I think there was a definite reason of why that Everett Creed wants Jason Atlas. I think there's an even more definitive reason on why Angelique Stark said that if Jason Atlas would ever need anything, he knows the people that are there for him.
Yeah, it's scary.
It is. And we're not talking about, something like a championship or a mask or or employment or something like minuscule. We're talking about a person. A legitimate human being is up for grabs in this match. Somebody's got to save him. And I think the people that want to is Creed and Stark. Ustalo kind of has this vendetta against, you notice, besides saving the UWE, he has a vendetta over a label that both himself, Revan, and Atlas were given when they started the new breed. They have a major vendetta, which is probably the basis of the Balance of Chaos itself, is a major vendetta on that label itself. They want to show why they weren't. And they aren't. They aren't the new breed anymore. They've been around the block more than once here. And now that Ustalo is at the point that he wanted to be, he saved the UWE. Yes, we can't take that for granted. Ustalo is the reason kind of why this is still happening right now, is because he beat Everett Creed and prevented the end game. However, he just made everybody suffer a slow, painful death. Then save him. maybe the best things at life go away in a snap of a finger. Who knows? I don't feel so good about this. I really don't. I think Stark and Creed have a plan. That plan has been in motion ever since Endgame. There's a reason why they said there's work to be done. And I think they're doing the work as we even speak.
Yeah. Ustalo, there's a Twitter war that took place a couple days ago. Ustalo tweeted to
Oh boy, social media beef, my favorite.
Ustalo said, don't underestimate those who you've overlooked your entire career. Like I've said, we were never the new breed. We are the balance of chaos. And Creed tweeted, and after Dead Man's Hand, you'll be all alone. I will take your friends and show them that you only use them to elevate yourself. That doesn't seem too balanced. In fact, it is selfish. You paint me as the corrupted villain, but look in the mirror. You should be ashamed of yourself. And Ustalo follows that with, it's quite hilarious that you say that you act. Hold on. It's quite hilarious that you say that as you call yourself the self-supremacy, as you talk about building yourself an army. That's called a dictatorship. What I have is a partnership, a team. The balance of chaos is an army of 3 that's set to take on your empire. We elevate each other. And Creed says, you honestly think that Revan is going to walk out victorious? You honestly think that you can beat me and my supreme leader? You talk big about your quote-unquote new breed, but face it, Revan will be admitted and Atlas will be turned and you will lose everything and everyone. So it really has built up. And we got some comments from the fans right here. And Tiger Talk says this is a tough one to pick. The Hand of God says I'm going with Creed to win. Mr. Awesome 5150 says Creed since Endgame has put one motivation to mind: extinguish the flame of Ustalo. He snapped since the loss, so I don't think Creed can accept another loss. So I'm gonna go with the self-supremacy. Tiger Talks Wrestling says I hate to, but I think I have to go with Creed winning this one. Majin Young Wolverine says I have no idea who's going to win this because of how hard it is to choose between Ustalo and Creed. And last but not least, the disease of Jason Atlas actually puts the disease does what it wants, not what it's told.
And I feel like the disease is going to do what he wants. There may be no stipulation in this match because who knows?
Well, there is. Atlas doesn't. The thing is, Ustalo, and a lot of people are going to ask, is Ustalo really looking out for Jason Atlas's best interest in mind? Yes, I think he does.
I think no. I think Creed was right on the money. I mean, look. If you analyze the balance of chaos itself, I want you to look at who does the talking. I want you to take a good hard look who does the talking. It's not Revan. It's not the disease. It's Ustalo. And the thing is, Ustalo may have had good intentions in creating this, but he's made something that is going to be destroyed in an instant, which is the balance of chaos. I know he's got heart. He's got determination. And I know that. We've seen that happen at Endgame of how far that determination goes. However, that was just the big blaze. That was just the big start of a fire. What happens to a fire that has no fuel to feed on? It is extinguished.
It's like
he doesn't have. I'm saying this. He's not going to have the fuel. The moment that Revan, like I said, gets admitted to Stark Labs, that fuel is damn near empty.
Yeah. A lot. I think everybody here has put in their predictions. Honestly,
I do want to point out something very, very quick. If people are hungry for pizza, such as the Dark Side, such as Tiger Talks and the Hand of God, I suggest go order underground pizza from the pizza man. Make sure to tell JayJoker Desings sent you so you can get a free slice of pepperoni pizza on your next visit.
And that's another thing, the pizza man that attacked Johnny Reed. The reason why there's not an official match card is because we don't even know if the pizza man's going to show up. He's not signed by UWE. He could have just been saying things to get, some of these delivery people, they get a little bit rowdy and they start saying things. Do I think he's going to show up? I mean, I think it'd be interesting. But the thing is that I honestly, we could not. The UWE board of directors could not make that match official. However, if both the Pizza Man and Johnny Reed are going to be there, then the match will take place. But the thing is that also with Dead Man's Hand stipulation,
wait. Would it really take place? Because the Pizza Man isn't even under contract.
He's not even under contract. But you know what? Since TJ Saqqara was, has been appointed in charge, anything's possible. Going back, honestly, I just realized everybody here has predicted Everett Creed to win this match, and it's very scary because how much of a mental mastermind he is. And
like I said, Jack, I said,
Ustalo is, Ustalo's, this is another thing. Creed, at Endgame, he wasn't the same person. He was just somebody that didn't care about the UWE. So he wasn't in the best ring shape. He put on weight. He lost his focus.
Hang on. You're going to talk about Creed's weight? You're going to talk about that? Man, that's a low blow from you, Jack. Let me just say another thing to prove my point. You're talking about social media beef. Why the hell is Usalo paying attention to Zach the Hellhound Romig trying to call out Tyler Aiken, trying to throw himself off this match too? I don't think his mind's in the right place.
The thing is that, the only person that didn't put his prediction in this match so far has got to be me. And I'm going to give you my prediction right now. I got Everett Creed winning this match in a landslide, you guys. And the thing is that I hate to admit, like I said, I'm not looking at this as a fan. I'm looking at this as an analyst. And I also predict this match. I know it is a last man standing match. I know that these matches tend to go on for a majority of the program. This last man standing match will not exceed 15 minutes. It will be less than 15 minutes. And here's my reason why. There's an X factor in this, and it's not even Everett Creed's lack of determination that he had at Endgame that now he has. Everett Creed, has lost weight. He's got a different look. His mindset is more focused than ever, and that isn't even the X factor in this match. You mentioned that Ustalo is focused on other federations. That's not even the X factor in this match. You mentioned how he's not going to be how the fuel of the fire is not going to be there because of Revan possibly losing to Insanity. That is not the X factor. The X factor in this match is the person that is going to be in Everett Creed's corner, and that's the Supreme Leader, Angelique Stark. Whenever she is present, it gives Creed a new focus. It gives Creed hunger. And the thing is, now that it's been exposed that she is the chief of medical staff, she has higher power and higher authority than anyone in the UWE, including TJ Saqqara. Everybody wondered how the Stark supremacy had such power, and now we know, because everybody knows that if anybody has a higher say over the board of directors, it's the medical staff. And Angelique Stark is head of the medical staff. And the thing is, she can bend the rules, she can manipulate them, and she is a master manipulator. And she is going to be the reason why Everett Creed walks out of this match the winner, and she is going to be the person that is planning every single little thing. I know Everett Creed, a lot of people think that this is Everett Creed's strategy, that this is Everett Creed's plan. Everett Creed is just a pawn in the game of Angelique Stark, and she is the X factor in this situation.
Man, Jack, I hope you don't treat if you ever get a fiance the way you're treating this man's fiance. That's terrible.
But here's the thing. I'm not looking at this as, look at everything that Everett Creed has done over time. Honestly, it looks like one person was in power in all of that, and that's Angelique Stark. She is the most powerful person in UWE, perhaps all of Backyard Wrestling right now. Think about Best in the Yard. Think if God forbid the Stark supremacy shows up, that's mass manipulation right there. And the thing is, Ustalo has no idea what he's getting himself into. Look, he's defeated Everett Creed in the past. Yes, He has. But this is a refocused Stark Supremacy, and I think Atlas is going to be a member of it by the end of the night. It's just very scary. Am I rooting for Evercreed? Absolutely not. I really hope Ustalo pulls it through. But, however, I have to go with the Supremacy on this one. With that being said, we're going to move on to the main event in just a few short moments. Before we do that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in here live, and make sure after this stream is over to check out NWF Adrenaline on their channel. That's going to be really good, you guys.
Yeah, make sure to spread as much love as you can. It is a terrific product. I do suggest to watch them.
It is amazing, you guys. It really is. Also, in other federations, there's been a lot of stuff. DBW has been white hot right now. They've been really on top of their A game. Especially after that epic event with Total Domination, we saw a lot of things there. And also, we're on the road to VTW Mania. There's a lot of matches that are going to be taking place, including the FTC versus the Bad Sons, including our very own Dirty DeChico competing for the VTW Championship against Jamal Payne. A lot is going on in Backyard Wrestling, including Best in the Yard 4. And there's a lot of matches that are going to be taking place there as well.
Who knows what we may see coming up to Best in the Yard 4, but we're not talking about Best in the Yard 4.
Not right now.
Dead Man's Hand.
And right
I think
now,
we've got one match. Yeah.
One match left to go, and everybody's been talking about it. It's the most talked about match of the evening. It is a first time ever. This is the first time we will ever see Rick Rios in his illustrious career go one-on-one with the Freak Show with Litz. And this is also the first time ever Litz will be – I think this is actually the first time Litz has ever had a one-on-one match for the World's Heavyweight title. I don't think Litz has ever competed for the championship before. Litz has done just about everything in his career. He has, gone on to Best in the Yard. He won at Best in the Yard. He won the Freaks Night Ball. He's defeated superstars all around. He's defeated superstars like Joe Cool and Adnan and so many other men. He's defeated TJ Saqqara. And he's defeated Yankee. He's defeated Noven at Ultimate Redemption, the greatest win of his career. But the one thing that has eluded his illustrious career is becoming the world's heavyweight champion. And the thing is that we have found out, Rick Rios is in such a stage of fright that he didn't even post it on social media or anything. He just told the UWE board of directors, send this out. And honestly, it's not even confirmed. But the thing is that the World's Heavyweight Championship is going to be on the line. And if Litz loses, his secret will be revealed. A lot of people were talking about this. Majin Young Wolverine, he commented earlier saying that Litz is going to become the World's Heavyweight Champion. Somebody else put that Rios was going to win. And let's see. We got some comments here. We got Tiger Talks tonight at 10 p.m. NWF Adrenaline is live. Mm-hmm. Hand of God put, like I said, Rick Rios is going to win. Ustalo, let's just say eat an underground pizza before you look at the predictions for your match at Dead Man's Hand.
Yeah, and you can redirect all your anger towards Jack Thomas.
Well, I'm not the only one. You pointed out as well.
No, he doesn't know that.
So, why is that? Predictions of one thing, results are different, and Austin puts got a point there. The thing is that, and I'm rooting for Ustalo severely. I really hope to God that Ustalo does defeat Evercreed for a second time at Dead Man's Hand. That will be miraculous. But right now, we're going to talk about this match right here. Rick Rios, the badass, the World's Heavyweight Champion versus Litz. This is how this match transpired. Pretty much the Murder Club came out and discussed how they've defeated all, tag teams, factions. But the thing is that there was one man that they have never come face to face with, and it was the Freak Show. And Yankee said some terms that, angered Litz, which caused him to appear. And Litz would say that he wants to face the World's Heavyweight Champion and he wants the title. It's the one thing that's eluded his career. And Yankee would challenge, not even challenge Litz, but would threaten him to back off, and he called him a very, very bad word.
Yeah, I'm not even going to say it.
Not even going to say it. It's very offensive, and we apologize in advance. It's not, that wasn't on the UWE, but solely on Yankee. And because of that, TJ Saqqara made the match because Lips exploded, and Saqqara would be very frustrated and make the match between Yankee and Lips. And if Lips was victorious, he gets this match here against Rios at Dead Man's Hand. During the match, Lips would play mind games severely. He would back it up against Yankee. He would, and he would play all these provocative mind games and really get inside his head. He would get it. Yeah, he would really get inside of his head, and then he would target his leg. He would attack the leg, whether it was headbutts, kicks, and then even Yankee's own baseball bat. And then it led Yankee to the point where he couldn't even stand up, and TJ ruled it a no contest. And Yankee would try to call him out one more time. Litz would hit him right in the head with the ball bat. And then TJ would say that this match is no contest. Litz is the winner of this match, and he will face Rios at Dead Man's Hand for the title. Rick was just absolutely frozen in fear. And then that's what made this match official. And Rios privately told the board of directors, this is what I have on Lips. Justin, what are your thoughts on this match?
Well, knowing Lips, he's already in the head of Rick Rios. He's already in the head of the badass. I don't think Lips has an idea of what he's dealing with, sadly. Maybe if this was Rick Rios, that was a couple of years ago when, Lips just came into the underground, things could have been different. But the thing is, Rick is a much different being than he once was. He's a man of focus. We're going to look at what he's done. You ever heard of a man called Big Time Mike? He retired him. Best in the Yard 3.
Big Time Mike will never be in an official match ever again. He will never wrestle again because
of him. Because of Rick Rios. The backbone of the Murder Club. Rick Rios. And, I don't think that, you're kind of making fun of this secret. You're kind of saying that it's something that's out of desperation. I think he's legitimately has something. You got to look at who he's associated with. Not only Yankee, he's associated with the general manager, for God's sakes, TJ Saqqara.
Yeah, but TJ doesn't have those files.
No. But somebody else may have.
And the thing is, no, TJ doesn't have confidential files like that.
Hang on. Jack, I refer to you too. Angelique Stark. Remember when we were talking about Insanity versus Revan, the admittance of and the history of patients that are currently in the underground? Lucius Isaac Preston Smith was one of them. Who knows?
Very true.
What that dirt they may have. And if you noticed, Creed doesn't really have anything against Rick Rios. He's only personally directed towards Usolo and dismantling the balance of chaos, but also at the same time, the only reason that the TJ Saqqara versus Adnan match is happening is because TJ acted as general manager to evict Everett Creed from his office. So that was professional.
Yeah, there's some comments.
There's a thing with it being Everett Creed. Yes, Rick Rios and Everett Creed may not see an eye in eye, but who knows? Rick can just go over Everett and talk to Angelique Stark. Actually, if you noticed, Endgame with what happened to Dirty DeChico, another man he took out that's not in action because of Rick Rios. Who knows?
I gotta disagree. I think Rios and Creed are actually are indeed on the same page. I mean, Creed and Rios won the NUW Tag Team Championships from Cameron Jackson and David Llewell. But the thing is that you're right, Angelique Stark. Now, and this is another thing that is a good point. Everett Creed has mentioned that Lips is the only man that the Stark Supremacy was unable to control. And Everett Creed has actually stated that he fears Lips and that, you know, he was pleased that Noven buried Lips alive. And since Lips has returned, it really does seem like it could be a threat to the Stark Supremacy. So I'm sure that, you know, maybe the secret is, you know, genuine if he does have something, if he does possess a skeleton in Lips's closet. But I still am not sure. We got some comments here from the fans. A lot of things from Ustalo, actually, probably concerning his match. We got, I'd like to also correct something about my match at Dead Man's Hand. If everyone thinks that Jason Atlas will leave the Balance of Chaos if I lose, if you lose, and then he says, however, Jason is his own man, his own person. We have formed a pact that is the Balance of Chaos. However, the disease is his own entity. And this is a fight to try to help the disease. The thing is, that may be correct, but at the same time, I think the Jason Atlas we once knew is long gone.
Yeah. And
honestly, I think the Jason Atlas that originally formed in the Balance of Chaos is long gone. You know, maybe like, and another thing is that it's whenever Everett Creed appears, if he's in the same presence, maybe not so much Everett Creed, but Angelique Stark, it really triggers the disease, and I think that really plays in with factor. He says if Creed wins, they take him into their care. If I win, I try to take care of the disease, making sure that even his dark half is not part of the Stark Supremacy. The Balance of Chaos will live on whether I win or lose, but I will not let the Stark Supremacy take any part of Atlas. I hope he's right. But
we have to see what happens Thursday.
That we will. And now concerning this main event here, we got let's see.
A lot of people are
Majin. Majin Young Wolverine says, I think Lips deserves the championship after what happened with Noven, especially the rivalries had with Noven.
I'm going to say this: deserving and getting are two different things.
That's a good point.
That's yes. You know, Lips does deserve. You know, Lips deserves a world title shot. He's getting one after what he's done to Yankee. However, Lips may deserve the world title in people's eyes, but it's not about who's deserving of it. It's who wins it. I think if anybody knows that, it's Rick. Rios has felt for years that he deserved everything. That he deserved to be champion. He deserved the recognition. And the fact of the matter is this. He has it now. He won it. He brutalized Dirty DeChico for that title. There's a mean streak in Rick Rios that we've never seen. That's there now. Ever since, if anything we can give credit to, I think Big Time Mike has created this mean streak in Rick. The moment that final chair shot to the skull of Big Time Mike cemented a legacy, not of just Big Time Mike, but the beginning of Rick Rios's.
Yeah,
and I feel like as much as there's the mind games and being, you know, of trying to freak out Rick Rios. I mean, yes, him quivering in fear, as we saw in Lockdown, was one thing. But when it comes to having a match, Rick Rios will put away that fear. I know he will.
You predicting Rick Rios to walk out as the world heavyweight champion?
Absolutely. And everybody else who is against Rick Rios is a fool right now.
Well, we got some people here. So going back to the Ustalo comments, you know, if everyone thinks that Atlas will lead the Balance of Chaos if I lose, Hand of God puts, if you lose, what will happen, Ustalo? So a lot of people, predicting Everett Creed to win that match. And then we got Mr. Awesome. We got Mr. Awesome saying Lips has beaten down Yankee, a best in the yard main eventer last Lockdown, whereas Rick has been on top of the world. So I'm feeling he is going to keep his World's Heavyweight Championship, but the Freak Show will have his way with MC, the Murder Club.
I mean, this is what it is if Rios wins, there's a secret of Lucius that gets revealed. Like I said, who knows what the secret is? I don't think it'd be smart on the part of Rios to even give out this secret beforehand to certain people. You know, and
a lot of people, a lot of people saying that Lips, deserves this because of what happened with Noven. A lot of people, because Lips has been through a living hell with Noven, as with the rivalry that took place. He defeated Noven at Ultimate Redemption, and then he was at Broken Glory. He was buried alive. That's never happened before. He was buried alive by Noven, and somehow, in some way, we don't know how, but Lips escaped from the grave. And he challenged Noven to one last match at Endgame, for which he was defeated. And it seemed that Noven and Litz buried the hatchet. Or it was just a showing of respect. Who knows? It might even, now that UWE is back, honestly, I think they did that only because they thought Everett Creed was going to beat Uslo at Endgame. Those two could, God forbid, if Atlas wins, and then if Litz wins, what happens if Noven decides to go after Litz for the world title? There's a lot of scary things. But I will say this. I do think Lips is going to finally walk out as the world's heavyweight champion. We're going to finally see Lips as the champion for the first time in his career because if Rios has some ties with Creed and all that, and if better yet, if he has ties with the board of directors to, put this as a secret stipulation, I'm assuming that he's found a way to avoid Lips. These two have never been in the same ring at the same time, not once ever before. So to be honest, when I see this match, this has never happened before. Rios has tried for almost 5 years to elude the Freak Show. That's almost half a decade. And now Lips has finally got his opportunity at the title, and he's finally got his chance to get his hands on Rick Rios. And that is something that I think Rios really is afraid of. He is genuinely scared, and you saw the look on his face. And Lips is just a couple of mind games away, one little death away from becoming the world's heavyweight champion. And I think a lot of people agree with me with saying that Lips is going to be the world champion.
And I'm going to tell you this. You are wrong. And I'm going to tell you who's right. If you look over to the comments, you see one familiar name. The man that sadly couldn't compete due to Lips during that match at the last lockdown. Yankee. Rios got this. And if Rick fails for any God-giving reason, I swear to God on everything I love, Lips is a dead man.
And that is exactly why I have Lips predicting this match, because Yankee
Lips is predicting the match too. Well, let me guess. He's saying he's gonna win
because he says I'm gonna do it with my hands. The thing is that Yankee is already assuming what happens if any signs of doubt, and I believe the match is already over, especially with Lips.
There's a difference between doubt and a backup plan. That's a backup plan. Doubt is I'm not sure if Rick's going to win. He says if this happens, I will kill this man. That is what Yankee's saying. Don't try to twist the words into something of doubt.
Yeah, but look what happened the last time. Look what happened the last time that Lips and Yankee got.
You're fake news.
Yankee is the maestro of the murder club.
Fake news.
And the thing is that look at what happened the last time they fought on lockdown. Lips physically and psychologically tormented Yankee on lockdown, targeting his leg, targeting his mind.
Here's the thing. Yankee wasn't the one that said to stop the match. TJ was. Yankee would have gone on if he had to lose both his legs and his arms and just had to headbutt the hell out of Lucius Smith. He would have done that. Yankee is the maestro of the murder club. He didn't say that he gave up. He tapped out and he got pinned by Lips. He wasn't defeated. It was called off all because TJ was in fear of what may have happened to Yankee, which is what didn't happen to him. Now, unfortunately, because of Lucius's actions, we have a man that's sidelined.
Well, people could say that Yankee got what he deserved. Some could say Lips went over the top. But either way, Lips is going to be competing for the World's Heavyweight Championship against Rick Rios at Dead Man's Hand. And if Lips loses, the secret will be revealed. And if Lips wins, he will win his first World's Heavyweight Championship, and it will be here in the UWE. Lips has had a mission. That's why he competed in the Rise to the Case. And the thing is that even though he came out short, and he came out short because of Yankee, and it looks like Lips got his revenge. Right now, I'm going to go on to the Twitter feed, because I'm going to review the polls that we posted, concerning the voting, because you got to vote for who you thought was going to walk out victorious for each match at Dead Man.
By the way, it'd be a great time to plug that as well. So if you haven't followed UWE on Twitter, go do so at
UWHD.
Yeah, there you go.
UWHD, all capital letters. And
you know what this channel's named? Just type that in Twitter. Guess what? You get us.
And pretty much, ladies and gentlemen, I've just been informed. Unfortunately, we are saddened to hear that. Wow, this is.
Oh no! Is it about? Is it about his eye? How's his eye?
Well, no, it's about. I'm not even gonna say. It's not a.
No. You said it.
My nervous laughter is getting the best of me. Justin, just. That damn Dale Peppers put a spell in me, because unfortunately the WWE just lost someone in their wrestling family, and for some reason that damn Dale Peppers, every time I hear a death in the family of the WWE, I just start breaking with nervous laughter. Thanks, Dale.
Okay, now I have to look. What's going on?
It's Nick Big Bully Busick, unfortunately.
Not Big Bully Busick.
Don't say nothing, please.
You're just the worst.
Yeah, I'm sorry that this is Dale Peppers.
Because
Dale Peppers one time, you guys, I'm going off on a shoot here, you guys. One time in the midst of UWE filming, Doink the Clown passed away, and Dale lost his mind laughing, and it made me go off. And it's just ever since when Doink the Clown passed, he said something, and I just lost it. So I do apologize in advance. Man, this is all right. So anything, Litz marks my words. I will kill Litz, and UW will never be the same against. Not a promise. It is a spoiler. And Yankee says, I never got pinned. I was forced by TJ to back off.
Yep. Yeah.
So here we go. This is the voting. UW Revan. Revan faces Insanity, where if Insanity loses his mask, he will be if Insanity loses his mask, will be removed. If Revan is defeated, it will be admitted to Stark Labs, who will walk out the winner. 60% of the fans voted that Revan will defeat Insanity. We also have TJ Saqqara battling Adnan for the Underground title. If Adnan loses, he will be released from the Stark Supremacy, who will walk out Underground champion. 60% say that TJ Saqqara will retain his title. Noven McDonald goes one-on-one with the Disease of Jason Atlas, where if McDonald is victorious and UW superstars are signed to UW and can compete for UW championships. And if Atlas dethrones the King of the Mountain, he earns his right to face Noven. 58% of the fans said that Noven McDonald will defeat the Disease, Jason Atlas. Ursula will face Angelique Stark's self-supremacy in a last man standing match, where the winner will recruit Jason Atlas to either the Balance of Chaos or the Stark Supremacy. Who will be the last man standing? 55% of the fans voted that Everett Creed will walk out the winner. And for the first time ever, Rick Rios faces Lips for the championship of the UWE. And if Lips loses, his secret will be revealed. Who will walk out of Dead Man's Hand as the World Heavyweight Champion? 62% said the Badass will retain the title. So that is the predictions there. The Hand of God, Gunshot, Backyard Wrestle says doesn't really matter who wins between Creed and Ustalo. Nobody can control Jason Atlas.
No, that says Jason Atlantis. He's facing a whole country.
Oh, Jason Atlantis. Well, that's a different story. But
you'll see Jason Atlantis coming up in the new Aquaman film by DC. So just giving you fair warnings there.
So if anyone has any final predictions, put them in the chat. Justin, do you have any final thoughts before we sign off here?
Do you want me to be completely honest with you?
Yes.
I think that we are in for something that is going to be defining for this season.
Absolutely.
And no need to apologize to Hand of God for your spelling. It's okay. I completely understand. I was giving you the benefit of the doubt for it being spell check, but I see that it's not. Okay.
Yeah, no, and then the Mr. Awesome's Dale Peppers and Doink. I'm telling you guys, that really happened. In the middle, we were setting up the equipment, and we got the message that Doink passed away. He lost it. I can't tell you how mad I was that I broke out in nervous laughter. Real thing.
Oh my god.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Honestly, this Thursday, tune in. As you said, it was 10 p.m. Eastern. Or no, 8 p.m.
No, it
Eastern.
is. All right, here's the time, you guys, for Dead Man's Hand. It's going to be this Thursday, May 10th. It's going to be 8 p.m., 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time.
Sorry, I'm dyslexic.
It's quite all right. 8 p.m. Eastern time. It's going to be 7 p.m. Central time, 6 p.m. Mountain time, 5 p.m. Pacific time. And if it's going to be in London, England, if you're in the United Kingdom, it's probably going to go up around midnight. And if it's in Europe, it's going to probably be around 3 o'clock in the morning. And then if you reside in a place that is dictated by Vladimir Putin, then just catch it tomorrow.
This is what I'm going to suggest. If you want to see Dead Man's Hand live at that time, and you are unsure of the time that it will be on for you, don't hesitate to click that set reminder button underneath it. Just go to the channel, click on the Dead Man's Hand 2018 link. Click that video, click the set reminder on it. It will alert you on your YouTube and your email of when that live stream takes place as well. And also Google. Google is everybody's friends. Google helps solve math problems, spelling issues, anything and everything.
You are like the best advertiser. I'm going to go off on a shoot, guys.
Okay.
Before we sign off here, I'm going to go off on a shoot. I can't help it. I was in the hangout with JayJoker before we did something, and he does this advertise. No, we were watching an episode of Monday Night Raw, and there was a commercial, and all of a sudden, this man puts on the best advertisement for Golden Corral for Tuesdays. Kids can eat free.
Tuesdays from 6 to 9 p.m. Kids eat free at Golden Corral. They can get as many mashed potatoes, pizza's a pizza, Jello desserts, chocolate wonderful. You name it, Golden Corral has it. I am way better than Jeff Foxworthy right now.
Jeff Foxworthy, you might have to compete with the Pizza Man at Ultimate Redemption for sponsorship.
No, he's crazy. He's from Brooklyn. He's crazy. I know.
All right, so you guys make sure to tune in to Dead Man's Hand this Thursday night, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time, 7 Central, 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific, UK midnight. Make sure to set your reminders. And we got a lot on the line. Revan versus Insanity, TJ versus Adnan, Noven versus Atlas, Creed versus Ustalo, Creed with Angelique Stark versus Ustalo. Like I said, that's going to be the X factor in that match, in my personal prediction. And then, of course, for the World Heavyweight title, the Badass versus the Freak Show, Rios and Lips. So we will see you Thursday night for the seasonal event known as Dead Man's Hand. This is Jack Thomas and JayJoker Designs signing out. Have a good night, everybody.